All right. Afternoon. Welcome to the Astro-Prospecting channel. This is the Evo Star series by Skywatcher. It's a 72 millimeter doublet ED f6 420 focal length refractor. I bought it in 2020, I think, and attempted to use it for astrophotography. It didn't work out. I run into a lot of problems. I bought a lot of little bits and pieces to try to achieve proper focus, to discover that the focus isn't back and forth, it's side to side. When you have it focused on this side of the image, when your vision travels across the plane of the image, if you know what you're looking at, you'll see that the focus changes from left to right. You can't have that. You can't have that and you won't cure it with a focus back adapter or any kind of quick centering lock or any of that. It will not cure it. So as far as for astrophotography, I wouldn't recommend this scope. It could be just mine, but I just don't see that Skywatcher telling you to change and upgrade to a aftermarket focuser if there wasn't something wrong with the focuser. So, and the one that I would probably, on the lower budget side, the lower expense, was about the same as the telescope cost brand new. And being that I'd already spent that money again in adapters and other things, which didn't cure the problem, I couldn't see spending that same money again and take the risk of it still not achieving the proper focus across the plane of the image. So instead, I just decided to do some visual with it, and I was totally amazed. It was astonishing. So I've yet to put the visual stuff in there. I'll get around to it. I've had other things going on, and yeah. For astrophotography, it kind of is budget, but if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. But now for visual, it's kind of up on the top or the higher end of budget minded for visual, because it's just a stripped down telescope. It's just the bare bones. No finder scope, no visual back, no star diagonal, no eyepieces, no mount, no tripod, no nothing. What you see is what you get right there for about $375. It does have dual speed focuser. It has a coarse and on this side, fine and coarse. This is 10-to-1 focusing. It does have friction drive, and I don't really like it. There's no adapter. It's just 2-inch. It does give good visual. So I wouldn't recommend it for astrophotography. Now, that's just me. Do your own research. Don't listen to everything everybody, especially some old crazy guy on the YouTube. I'm just going from my own experience. I bought this out of my pocket. I've never been satisfied with its performance, and I always want X amount of performance for my dollar. This didn't give it to me, but it is phenomenally. It's just visual wise, it is absolutely astonishing how much detail and everything. So this would be budget minded if you already had a mount and tripod, eyepieces, and other accoutrements to go with it. I I think you can buy this setup with the diagonal, maybe with eyepiece, finder scope, for $100 or $100+ more. So probably for like, oh, I don't know, another $150. So, you know, maybe $425, somewhere in there. But you still have no mount, no tripod. I cured that problem a long time ago. I have mounts for this one here is one that I don't have a mount for. But my wife has accommodated it, or, you know, acquired it, or whatever you want to call it, for her visual. So, but this is just to stay in mind of a budget telescope. Now, my recommendations would be not to buy a bare bones telescope for $375. I would shop around and see what else other people had. I would try to steer you away from alt azimuth mounts unless it has slow motion knobs on it. But the ones that have pinch clamp and you loosen the handle to, and then once you get it set, you tight handle and it's pinch clamp. I would try to steer you away from them. They're really clunky and you're going to run out of interest in them and you can't find things. Slow motion, you just turn the knob. There's no loosening anything up. And you just turn the knob. And some in the alt azimuth, I think SV Boney has one, but it doesn't come with a tripod. And there's a multitude of others. Me personally, the only alt azimuth I would buy is if it has slow motion knobs on it. The pinch clamp kind of stuff doesn't interest me. Me personally, I've only owned, since we started this in 2008 or whatever, in there, 2007, 2008, are German equatorial mounts. And there's a couple of reasons. I like the mechanics of them. I'm a retired mechanic, like I've said numerous times before, and I just like the mechanics of them. And most of them have slow motion. So, all that being said, I did run into some problems with this, with the focuser. Pretty much had to replace screws earlier on a video, but it turned out way too long. I had noticed that just 2 of the screws were coming loose again, but those 2 screws are basically for the adjustment for the friction drive part, whatever it is, old Crayford or whatever. So I adjusted it and tightened them up, but those are the only 2 screws that did not get a dot of enamel paint, which acts like a Loctite solution. And I wanted to leave them unloctited in case I did have to adjust the the friction pressure. And I noticed just on last or previous video, that's why the Allen wrench kit here is out. So one of the things I would recommend is a Allen key set. This is standard and metric, and it has all the common sizes. You'll find that you use them a lot. Almost everything has comes with Allen keys. These happen to be for the dovetail and the dovetail evening piece. But you do get this cool box. So anyway, I'm yawning like crazy and I'm burning up. And I know it ain't much, but about maybe 60 in the house. So I'm going to end it here at about 10 minutes. We'll just leave this in the library. I'll go put that on the shelf. if you have a mount and a tripod, this would be good for visual. Other than that, I'm sure you could shop around and find something that's much more utilizable by you, for you, and your if you're doing it with your kids, um, and not just to become a piece of furniture in the closet. So, thanks for watching. I gotta go change shirts. I'm burning up in this long sleeve. Um, there was something else I was gonna say, but anyway, thanks for watching.